Welcome back. This is Trent Ernst. He's a journalist with the Tumbler Ridge Lines. What do you call it? A newspaper or
Tumbler
website?
Ridge newspaper. No,
okay.
we publish a newspaper once every 2 weeks.
All right. And, local journalism matters, especially in smaller communities. And it really mattered the day of the shooting. You were the first journalist here. In fact, the first one for a long time, right?
Yeah. The Tumbler Ridge Lines is the only newspaper here, only media here. I got an email or a Facebook message from a friend who said that there was an incident down happening at the school. I grabbed my camera and my phone. I went down there and just as I was about to start live streaming, an alert came down saying that there was a live shooting incident, and the suspect was described as female, dress, brown hair. And so I just sort of went live with that, was sort of talking to whoever wanted to pay attention to what I was doing. And, these things happen in small towns, and normally it's like a kid who didn't want to do his test calls in and does a threat at the school. Yeah. So I wasn't prepared for the outcome.
Yeah. And so where were you while you were live streaming?
I was just over there,
yeah.
right across from the school. It also being a small town, you don't want to step on people's toes, and yeah. I know that the school is very protective of its kids, and I actually got a call while I was out there saying, don't show any kids' faces, don't do this, and I was like, yes, I'm staying off the school ground and doing all that. So
I mean, it's an interesting balance, right? And it's a balance we've felt here that you do want to respect people's privacy, especially kids. But at the same time, journalism matters, and your journalism that day mattered. I assume that a lot of people in the community were grateful for your live streaming.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of positive people saying that they're liking what I'm doing. As a community journalist, I got into this more equally for the community as for the journalism part of it. I wanted to celebrate when the hockey team won a tournament. I wanted to celebrate when one of our local doctors got an award. I wanted to celebrate those things. When you go into journalism like that for the community, when something like this happens, it just rips your heart out.
Yeah. I mean, what about that moment when you learned the magnitude of what happened inside that school?
Yeah. So what happened was there was a lockdown at the elementary school, at the YMCA, and for all the students that were here in the community center. And what happened was I got a note from my daughter who works at the YMCA saying the lockdown was lifted. And so I went live to just say, hey, you can go pick up your kids. Everything's fine. And at that, while I was doing that, somebody sent me a note saying, check the RCMP website, the information's been released. And I was literally just talking to the community and having to read that. And that was, I can't. I mean, you do this professionally. You're used to be able to say hard things professionally in front of a camera. I'm not.
Yeah,
and that was hard.
That moment that you were going through that, I was in a radio studio and we were simulcasting on TV with Gloria Makarenko and Leanne Young, and Leanne was reading the list, and with each sentence, we were all discovering the magnitude of it. I am impressed at how well she was able to get through that. I can't imagine for you in the community, your community, did you even get through the news release?
I mean, I haven't been able to get through anything the last few days. I'll be eating an orange and I'll suddenly start crying because it's hard. Like I say, when you're goal is to take pictures of kids playing hockey and you discover that one of the kids that's fighting for her life in a Vancouver Children's Hospital is one of those hockey players. It's hard. And yeah, like I say, it's I just can't get through this without sharing those emotions, because they're running really close to the surface right now.
I mean, it's good. It's good to hear this. I'm sure there are people in the community watching now who are appreciating, like they're seeing themselves in the way you're reacting. Your daughter or did you guys have a connection to the school?
I mean, not currently. Before I started the newspaper, I had been working at the previous newspaper. Then the owner died, and when she died, my wife was like, "You don't want to go back into journalism. That you can't make any money in journalism." But I discovered I couldn't make any money anywhere else either, because I was basically unemployable other than for my writing skills. So I started up the paper, and but right in that break, I actually wound up substituting at the school for 3 months,
wow.
Teaching the class that would have been the class now that got shot.
Like that classroom.
That classroom. Maybe not the same classroom, but that age range, like teaching the 12, 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
So
and now you, as I understand it, and probably like a lot of people in the community, have been doing a lot more than your job in the last few days, right? You've been helping people out, giving drives.
Yeah, well, that isn't part of this. I do a lot of volunteer work in the community. So today, I actually took a group of people to the Dawson Creek for medical appointments that were previously scheduled.
I see. What's next for you in terms of, trying to cope?
So, as a storyteller, I know that stories are powerful things, and I know that telling people stories is a powerful thing, which is, why I got into journalism in the first place, was to tell stories. So I don't want to get up into anybody's faces and go, so what does it feel like to have your child murdered? Well, it feels terrible. I already know that. But I want to talk to the people who are around town, find out how they're reacting, find out how they're dealing with this. I'm not gonna go banging down doors. I'm just gonna offer people the chance to come and talk and tell their stories and share, because, like I say, stories are powerful both in the telling and in the hearing.
Yeah, that's been my experience too, right? Like I walk around and I let people come up to me and decide, do they want to talk and what do they want to say? They say everybody's got a story. It's true. Everybody's got a story.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you're a big figure in this community, literally and figuratively, so people will come up to you as well.
Yeah, it does happen. I'm also a little bit antisocial, which is weird for a newspaper reporter.
Yeah.
So I tend to be off in the corner sometimes. But when things are happening and I can put on that news journalist hat, I can sit there and talk to people and find out what's happening.
Well, never was your role here more important than it was on Tuesday, and I know a lot of people appreciated it. And like I say, what you do is important, Trent. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you for speaking with me.
Trent Ernst is a local journalist here in Tumbler Ridge.